Hey guys, I'm Amit Kumar and welcome to this video in which we are going to talk about programming languages. This is part 2. In our previous video, we have discussed about programming language and its types, and in this video we are going to discuss some more things in detail. Now we have seen what are high-level languages. Now high-level programming languages can be further categorized as per the programming methodology. So depending upon the methodology used in a certain high-level language, it can be categorized further. Now these categories are procedural programming language, functional programming language, object-oriented programming language, and scripting programming language. So let's see them one by one. Procedural programming language executes a sequence of statements that lead to a result. Typically, this programming language uses multiple variables, heavy loops, and other elements, separating them from functional programming languages. Now, procedural programming language, as the name suggests, focuses on process, focuses on procedure to be followed to perform a certain task. Hence, it executes a sequence of statements which leads to a result. Now, these programming languages have multiple variables and heavy loops. Now you might be considering what are loops. So for now you can consider loops are nothing but statements which are repeated for a certain moment of time. So these loops are quite heavy in procedural programming language and they use a lot of variables into it. Now these are the features which actually separates it from functional programming language. Now some examples of procedural programming languages are Fortran, Algol, COBOL, BASIC, Pascal, C, etc. And most of them are quite old and they are used very less nowadays. Now what are functional programming language? Functional programming language typically uses stored data. And in these programming languages, and we frequently avoiding loops in favor of recursive function. The functional programming primary focus is on the return values of function. Now, as the name suggests, these programming languages basically work with functions, and as you will proceed and grow in programming, you will understand what is a function. But in these programming languages, we basically focuses on recursion rather than on looping. Now what is recursion? Recursion is another way of doing repetitive tasks, but here we actually take help of function to repeat those tasks. Now that's why this functional programming language is quite different from procedural programming language, where we moreover focus on loops. The primary focus of functional programming is on the returning value of a function, what value a certain function returns. Some examples of these languages are Haskell, SML, Clojure, Scala, Erlang, Clean, F#, etc. Object-oriented programming language. This programming language follows object-oriented programming principle. The OOPS principles are best suited for solving real-life issues. Now, we will discuss about Apex and we will discuss about object-oriented programming later down the line. But object-oriented programming have some certain principles like object, classes, abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance, pretty much of terms, right? But don't worry, we will discuss about each one of them. And if you are a science student, you might have heard many of these terms. But all those languages which follows these principles definitely fall under the category of object-oriented programming language. For example, C++, Java, Ruby, etc. are famous object-oriented programming language. And it is one of the most used methodology in programming. Scripting programming language. These programming languages are often procedural or may comprise object-oriented language elements, but they fall into their own category as they are normally not full-fledged programming languages. Now, some of the scripting programming language can follow procedural approach and some can follow object-oriented approach. But still we have a separate category of them as most of these languages don't have full feature of a programming language. That's why we consider them as a scripting programming language rather than a different sort of programming language. Some examples are PHP, ASP.NET, Node.js, Perl, etc. Language translators. Now we know high-level language is a language which our computer doesn't understand, and hence we need a translator software so that we can convert it into machine language program. Now the softwares that used to translate high-level language program to machine language program are known as language translators, and for high-level language the translators used are compilers and interpreters. Now why do we have two different translators? Because they have two different approach. Now a compiler translates the whole program at once, only translates the program, and in case of error it doesn't translate at all. So a compiler is used only to translate the program, and it translates the whole program at once. So if our program is of 100 lines, it's going to translate those 100 lines and it will provide us a new program, a new file with the translated code. Now in case if there is any error, the compiler is not going to translate at all. Now let's talk about interpreter. Interpreter translates one line at a time. It translates and executes the program, and even in case of error it translates up to the line of error. So in case of interpreter, first of all it translates one line at a time and it executes at the same time. So in the program, if there are 100 lines, it will pick the first line, will translate it and execute it, and so on. In case of any error, suppose there is an error at line number 50, so it's going to successfully translate all the 49 lines above it, and definitely in some scenarios it's going to give some random or different output for line number 50 and onwards. So that marks the end of this video. See you soon in the next video. Till then, thank you and take care.